Hello, it's Diane, and I'm ready now to show you the haul from the flea market. So I just have everything out on the table. I don't have it divided up from vendor to vendor because I don't think you really care about what vendor did what. So I'm just going to start showing you. I did get a bag of fabric, vintage fabrics, and I did wash them. And within the bag, it's a better bag than I got last week. Remember the Bratz fabric? So this was a much better bag, and within the bag were some extra little things. So I'm just going to show them to you first. This looks like a little bib, but it's an advertisement for white sewing machines. Isn't that cute? So I think somebody took this fabric that was an advertisement and then made a little bib out of it, because it definitely looks like a homemade bib. So I'm going to include that in one of my domestic arts journals. And this is a little apron, little doll apron, made with this fruit print and lace. So that's really cute. I think there's another apron too, somewhere. And then there's this little patchwork piece. What are these little figures along the edge? I think they're little sailors. Yeah, because it looks like the semaphore flags. So they're little sailors on that border print. And maybe it's just a doll blanket because it doesn't open up. I thought maybe it was a pillow, like a little pillow cover or something, but oh, okay, so it was going to be a little pillow, must be. It's got an opening for putting the stuffing in, and then you would slip stitch it shut. But I'm not going to make a pillow out of it. This was included in the bag, this little crochet doily. Another patchwork piece. And this linen piece, which definitely needs to be ironed, but hopefully you'll be able to see the pretty designs on it. It is cooler now, so I will be able to start ironing, which is a good thing because I've been collecting stuff all summer. Vintage fabrics and things, so it's all washed and in baskets waiting for me to start ironing, so maybe I'll start ironing tonight. Set up my ironing board in front of the TV. This is a really soft linen embroidered piece. It's got a little stain right there. It's kind of a pink stain. But this edging is beautiful. And the linen is just so soft and nice. And here's another patchwork piece with hexagon shapes. It's not very neatly done, but there it is. It's got a knights and castle pattern. So I might take this apart and use these pieces in a medieval journal. I've got some things to go for that. And here's the other apron, little doll apron. And this is a larger, it's like a little baby quilt top maybe, but the squares are quite big. It's got clouds. And then there was this star pattern quilt block. This is a little bit nicer, neater stitching. And then the rest are the fabrics. There are some small pieces and some larger pieces, so I'll just go through them quickly. There's this little red and white polka dot. This one is kind of cool, looks pretty retro. Small piece of that. A piece of pink satin. I have several small pieces of this colonial looking fabric with the Liberty Bell and drum and bugle and the symbol here. A painting of a ship, clipper ship, 1776. So this might have been a bicentennial fabric from 1976. I don't know if it's that old. So there's more pieces of that. This is a panel that you would cut out and then follow the directions to sew it together and make a snowman named Jack Snow. So I'll use some of this probably in Christmas junk journals. This is a piece of just a navy fabric, solid navy. I like this one. For some reason I thought this would have been really nice in the owl journals. I just love the colors. It's a small piece of it. I think this is black and white. I don't think it's navy. I think it's black. This is a small piece. This looks like the fabrics that were popular in the 80s. Here's a larger piece of this pretty blue floral. A red gingham. A tiny red gingham, looks more country. And here's another panel where you could make this little cow. So I'll use this in a farm journal. And some sunflower fabric. This will also be in a farm journal. You can probably hear neighbors pounding. I don't know what they're doing. Red, white, and blue plaid. Almost like a window check plaid. Window pane plaid, whatever. This is a hemmed piece. I don't know what it is, but it's black. And it's got, I don't know if you can see, but it's got this little design there. I think you can see that there. So I really don't know what this is. This is another pretty piece with fall colors. This is a textured white. Can you see the texture on it? Striped. White polka dot. Can you see the polka dots? It's a good size piece there. Looks like muslin here. Just a piece of white cotton. Some flannel that's got owls on it. Very soft flannel. This is a pretty green color. Like an aqua, deep aqua. So pretty. And a pretty pink. I might have to put those two together in something. And lavender gingham. So, like I said, hopefully I'll get started on getting things ironed. And oh, there was this little bag of strips too that had owls and some solid. Must be they were making seam binding out of it. So then I can get some vintage fabric bundles put together. And the laces, the antique laces that I bought in a recent video haul, I washed them with wool. I just hand washed them, but they are they definitely need ironing, so I'll get them done and get them in the shop too. So because I bought the bag of fabric, the lady gave me these for $1 because these were in a bag full of yarn that she had that she wanted $6 for the bag, and most of it was just ordinary yarn, and I said that I wanted some of the yarn but not all of it. So she said, well, let me see what you want. She said, oh, the crazy ones. So since I bought the fabric, she said I could have all of these for $1. So this is just a pretty multicolor yarn with the little flags on it. I'm not sure what if this has a technical kind of a name for the yarn that has those little sticky outy pieces, but I call them flags. And this one is thinner. It's more like a thread, I guess, but it has a ladder design. It's got the sticky outy things in between rows, so it's like a ladder. And I got it tangled up here. I'm going to be listing some of these in my shop too. This one is a brown, but it's got an interesting texture to it. And there were, I don't know, 3 or 4 balls of this, but I just took one because it looks like there's quite a bit there. And here's a pretty blue with the flags. And here's a green one that's just like the brown. And then this eyelash trim. in variegated color, so it's navy and pink and lighter blue, different shades of pink. There's not a lot here, but I'll put some of that in my shop. Okay, on to other things. This one dude had all these really old things. He was busy talking to somebody the whole time that I was there, and then I left and then I came back and he was still talking, but some of the stuff looked interesting. Like, he had old boxes, unopened boxes of waxed paper, and the boxes were like craft brown with red and blue printing on them, I think, or maybe just red printing. But it wasn't the Cut Right brand of wax paper that we see now. I don't know. I wanted to see what the wax paper itself looked like. I should have, because maybe it was like the brown glassine type of stuff. But anyway, all I got from him was this. It says colored parcel post twine. He had several of these, and also in just a brown color parcel post twine. He wanted $3 a roll, so I said, okay, I'll just take one. So then he said, well, if you want them both, you can have them both for $5. So I did it. But I like the label on them too. So these will be really fun in tags. I've got that Tim Holtz fabric that's about airmail and postal stuff, so I'll definitely have to use those along with that fabric for something. I got this bridge pad. There's a score pad. I probably won't keep this part, but I wanted this part. So that's pretty cool. And I got 2 old flour bags. I got the small, he had 3 different sizes, and I got the smallest ones because I wanted to. He said you could frame them and hang them up. They're really cool, but I didn't want to say, no, I'm going to cut them and fold them and put them in a book. But that's what I'm going to do. Won't that be fun? In a farm book or a kitchen, like a cooking book. So I got 2 of those. And I got these. They came in these folders, Birds of the Carolina Woodlands. And these are the pictures. I don't know how big they are. I don't have anything to measure right here, but there's 2 of those, several of the heron, 3 of those, and bobwhite quail, 1 of those. I think there's 2 of this one. But I thought these would be nice folded into a book. But I'm going to have to put some in my shop because I don't need them all. So I hope some of you will be interested in acquiring some of these. There's 3 eagles, I guess, and there's another one of those. Okay, so that's that. I found this, the Blue Van Man. You do have to know about the Blue Van Man, so I know this came from him. He charged me more this time than he normally does. He said that there were some nice pieces in there. So I was going to set aside one of the pieces. I said, you can keep this one, because that was one he was charging a lot for. But he gave me a discount on it, so I took it. But this one is a 1954 calendar. I didn't even really pay attention to the pictures. It's like small town, black and white photos. Commencement. Oh, it's June. Oh, it's for a college. This page is all written in. So that's cool. I also got this from him. And I thought it was like a photo album, but it's index cards, so it's some kind of a file. And the index cards are just tucked into like a craft holder with a little piece of plastic to hold them in at the bottom. I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. So I thought these were neat, and the index cards are vintage, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. These are perforated, so I could easily pull this out and use them somehow in journals. So I'm going to have fun playing with those. There's quite a few here. Tell me what you think about this find right here and what you would do with it. Oh, this is, maybe it was used in a automotive dealership, because at the bottom here are some notes on vehicles and what they need. 1965 Chevy, $450. It needs rear end radiator leak. Cool. And, oh, these are dirty. Ledger, an old ledger, and it's written in. I think every page is written in. Trying to see if there's a date at the top here. Might be 1959. I'm not sure. It just says, nope, because that says 53 at the top. So I don't know. Yeah, those aren't the dates. I guess there's no date in here. Yep, every page is written on. I gotta clean that up. But then I found this little ledger. And it's not written in. I think, well, nope, no pages are torn out. Well, maybe. I don't think so, no. It starts on page 7, so they did cut out the beginning pages, but that's still a lot of pages. That's a nice little ledger book. This is the piece that he wanted to charge me a lot for. Weekly Memo, 1943. And he has given me such great deals this summer. I think he wanted to charge me $25 for it. So I was, maybe, I can't remember if it was $15 and he wanted $25 for the whole bunch. I can't even remember. But I knew I didn't want to spend that much, whatever he asked for. So, you know, I was just like, okay, you can keep that one and I'll just take the rest. But then he offered me a discount, and I cannot remember how much it was, but I took it. Because he's given me such good deals. I know I've made out better over this summer with him than I deserved. This is not from him. There were other things from him, but this was from another place, I think. A Mary Poppins story for coloring. And this looks like, these are modeled after the original artwork in the original books. Well, it says pictures by Mary Shepard, so maybe she actually did these pictures. She's the one that illustrated the original book. And I think this book came from The Man in the Blue Van. Look at all these pages of jewelry. This is awesome. I love this book. He had a whole bunch of these popular mechanics books, but I just took one because I thought the images would be fun. There was one that I saw as I flipped through. There was a really cool image in here, but I couldn't find it again. I wanted to mark it so I could show it to you, but it didn't pop right up. But I'm doing a masculine journal now, so I figured I could use some of these pages. There's a lot of good images in it, and it's nice and thick. A lot of illustrations. So I only took the one because I figured that's all I needed. Popular Mechanics Shop Notes. Then there was the Primer of American Antiques. So more furniture pages. Well, not just furniture, but all kinds of antiques. I'm sorry if I haven't been in frame properly. So I just have a lot of fun with these pages. So this is W.S. Gilbert, Creatures of Impulse, a musical fantasy in 2 acts for mixed voices. I'm assuming that that's Gilbert of Gilbert and Sullivan, but it's got music. And it's got the play. I thought that was cool. And it's got pictures of the characters. Oh, there's another one, Modern Mechanics. This was 15 cents. Maybe this is the one that had the image that I was trying to find. So I guess I picked up 2 like this. The other one was Popular Mechanics. This is Modern Mechanics. Maybe it was this page. That was pretty cool. That's awesome. Housekeeping made easier with these new devices. Definitely use those in domestic arts. Yeah, this one's really cool. I got some of these bags. There's a guy there that has totes full of bags in different sizes, and they're cheaper than at Walmart, so I grabbed a couple of those because I use them to package up some of the stuff in my shop. I got 3 bags of these foam brushes for $2 each because I go through a lot of them when I do Mod Podge. I got 2 Western books that I can use with the cowboy stuff that I've been finding, cowboy fabric and other cowboy stuff. So Mavericks and the Squaw Man. But look at that cowboy. He is so cool. He is definitely going to be the cover of a cowboy book. And then this one has a saddle, so had to have that one too. Some miscellaneous things. Presidents of the USA, a little turn card thing. Has their picture, their name, when they were born, when they died, the order of succession, and the years they were in office. And it's on the back too. Back to School Headquarters, Sears and Roebuck and Company, Binghamton, New York. So I thought that was cool. I got this along with this Triple S Blue Stamp Saver book. And this receipt book, Local Union number 7353. But, excuse me, they're blank receipts. And the lady said she has more of these, and she thought she had a couple more of receipt type of books, but must be they were in a different box that didn't come with her. So she said she'll bring them next week. Here's a recipe finder that I got from the same lady. So you write down the name of the recipe and which cookbook to look in. Isn't that cool? And even the page, and write a comment. I just think that's awesome. And then she had these giant postcards. They're quite sturdy. Inspiration Point, Clear Creek Cannon. There's a train there. That's a beautiful one. There's another train. And there's a train. The Royal Gorge. I don't see a year, but I thought they were cool. And I got some really cool vintage button cards with really neat pictures on them. And this card of snaps. And then I got some old little golden books. So, and some of them I don't think I've ever seen before. So this one I've seen quite often. In fact, we had it when my kids were young. But this actual edition is 1942. It's the old one. So the corners are soft. This is one I've never seen before. The funny book, the little golden funny book. Look at the back of that one. I had an old Snow White book with the back like this. And look at the inside. This one is 1950. The Old Man with a Beard, Edward Lear poem. So it's just funny poems, funny little stories, riddles. So it's the funny book. I love that. This one is called Dogs. I've never seen a back like that, I don't think. Maybe I have, but not very often. It's got the inside like that. And this one is 1952. Animal Gym. Never seen this one. 1956. Things would be in an awful fuss if animals had Jim with us. Oh, look at the giraffes on the chinning bar. That's funny. Monkey bars, cool. The store-bought doll, I've never seen this one. This one isn't as old, but it's 1983. But I do like the pictures. She's got a Raggedy Ann doll there, or at least a rag doll. But because of the images, I think this would be cute to use in a Holly Hobby book, which I've been collecting things to make a Holly Hobby book, and I can't wait to start making it. Little Golden ABC. I have seen this one before. This is pretty old, 1951. Our Flag. (1960). Rough and Ready, cartoon characters from the good old days. I don't think I ever watched them, but I've seen them before. 1959. I don't know, I probably watched them when I was a kid, but I don't really remember them too much. This is a new one to me, Mr. Noah and His Family. I think that there are more pages in these older books than there are in the new ones. 1948. So it looks like she's playing. My Noah's Ark is my favorite toy, so she's putting animals, her toy animals in. That's cute. And this one I have, but the cover is different. And it's illustrated by Corinne Malvern, who I also love. I think she just does, look at that. She does the most delicate looking little children. If you have a collection of little golden books, look to see if you have any illustrated by Corinne Malvern, because her work is beautiful. And this one is 1946. So that takes care of what I got today at the flea market. And thanks for watching, and I'll be back again soon. Bye-bye.